Excuse me, sir. May I come in?
Please come in.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Archana, please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Archana Choudhary.
Yes, sir.
As you can see, all of us are wearing masks because of COVID-19.
Yes, sir.
And we are sitting also at sufficient distance while talking to each other. So you have the option of removing your mask if you want, or you can talk while wearing your mask. But for identification purpose, I would request you to remove your mask for just a while.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Archana. So, Archana, you would like this interaction to be in Hindi or English?
English, sir.
English. Okay. Tell us something about yourself.
So, my origin residential district is Alwar, and I've completed my 10th class from Board of Secondary Education, Andhra Pradesh, 12th class from Board of Secondary Education, Rajasthan, and BSc from Biani Girls College, Jaipur, and MSc from Rajasthan University.
Okay.
And after that, I'm working as an assistant professor in a private college.
Acha, when did you join this job?
So 2019, near about September.
Acha. So you did your schooling from Andhra Pradesh?
Yes, sir.
So how come Andhra Pradesh from Rajasthan?
So because my father worked in army.
Okay, so you're from army background.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Archana, tell me, like, you are a student of geology.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these days, like, we are hearing about so many diseases which are actually getting transferred to humans from animals. So what is the term for that?
Zoonotic diseases, sir.
Zoonotic diseases, right. Okay, so can you tell me something about this origin of COVID-19? From which animal it is supposed to have originated?
So it is supposed to have originated from bats.
Which kind of bat?
Fruit-eating bats.
Acha. So what is so special about these bats?
Sorry, sir, I don't have any.
So we also hear about something called as cytokine storm. What is a cytokine storm?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Archana, you are from Neem, Rana.
Yes, sir.
So what is Neem, Rana famous for?
So there is a Neem Rana fort which has been converted into a hotel. It has received international awards also for that rejuvenation and restoration.
Right.
And Neem Rana, it is also known as mini Japan because of Japanese zone has been established there, and industrial development it has witnessed.
Okay. Recently a big protest by farmers is taking place.
Yes, sir.
So what is the reason for that?
So the main reason is the three formulas that have been passed by the parliament. And in that there are some...
In which session of the parliament these laws were passed?
Session.
How many sessions in parliament?
Sorry, sir, I don't know.
Okay, monsoon session, right?
Monsoon.
Why so much opposition by the farmers? Supposedly the government is saying that this is only going to help the farmers by removing the middlemen.
So as per the farmers, they think that these laws that they'll lead to corporatization of the agriculture. Corporates, they'll...
As a well-aware student and a person who is teaching students, you are an assistant professor. So what is your view on these laws? Whether the farmers are right in protesting, whether the government has done a right thing and the farmers are protesting without any reason?
So as per my view, there are some loopholes in the bills passed by the government.
For example, only one I would like to know.
For example, there is no provision of MSP.
The government has categorically said that MSP will remain.
So saying is another thing, but giving it in written in the law is a different thing.
Okay, sir.
Archana, you belongs from specialty of zoology.
Yes, sir.
Then tell me, what is clone?
So clone is exactly genetically identical copy of an organism.
Okay. Tell me the first clone of cow in the world.
Cow. Sorry, sir.
Okay. What is reproductive clone and lab clone? Laboratory clone or reproductive clone?
So laboratory clone is the one that we can like form in the laboratory, and reproductive clone, sorry sir, I don't know.
Okay. Then tell me what is the central dogma scheme?
Central dogma scheme, so it was given by Mr. Crick. It says...
In which year?
1958, I suppose.
Exactly. What is it?
So it says that DNA it converts into RNA by transcription, and RNA it converts into protein by
DNA
translation.
convert into RNA.
Yes, sir. From DNA, RNA is
How
synthesized.
it is possible then
Synthesized,
DNA
sir.
is convert into RNA?
So synthesized, sir. Sorry.
DNA
Yeah.
does not synthesize RNA, or RNA synthesize DNA.
So both the things can be possible. Transcription and reverse transcription are the processes.
What is transcription?
So transcription, the mode by which we can synthesize a single-stranded mRNA from a double-stranded DNA.
Okay. What's about more for central dogma?
More for central
DNA replication itself?
Yes,
It
sir.
is
DNA
considered-
replication. Yeah.
Okay. What are the uses of central dogma?
So central dogma, if we say there's a term in Hindi, ये मूल कर्मकांड की व्यवस्था बोला जाता है इसे. It means that everything in the universe, it happens as per this theory only.
Okay. What is crossing over?
So crossing over, it means like we take two different organisms. There's no provision of self-fertilization.
Two different organisms.
Yes, sir. Two different organisms of the same species, like a male and a female.
Same species. Okay. Male and female.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is homeostasis?
Homeostasis. Sorry, sir. I
Okay.
can't-
Fermentation?
Ji, sir.
Fermentation. What is fermentation?
Fermentation. So after glycolysis, if the pyruvic acid it is anaerobically oxidized, then it is termed as fermentation.
For example,
So for example, this synthesis of lactic acid, ethanol.
lactic acid and ethanol. Okay. Tell me about something zoonotic disease.
Zoonotic diseases.
Last zoonotic disease in India occur. What is the name of this disease?
Sorry, sir.
Plague is occur by which organism?
Plague. Yersinia pestis is the organism, and the
What is it?
it is a bacterium, sir.
Then tell me what is apomixis?
Apomixis. Sorry, sir. I can't.
And what about parthenocarpy?
So parthenocarpy, it is the development of fruits without fertilization.
For example,
So for example, seedless grapes.
seedless grapes.
Yes.
Banana,
Seedless banana. Yes.
papaya, tomato, brinjal.
So if they are seedless, we can say that they are the result
What is
of fire.
glycolysis and why it is so important for the aerobic and non-aerobic respiration?
Because glucose is we get energy by breaking down glucose, and it is the initial step of respiration, be it aerobic or anaerobic.
Aerobic respiration first time observed in which organism?
Sorry, sir. I think it is blue-green algae.
A famous sweet belongs to Alwar. What is the name
Famous,
of this
sir?
sweet?
Sweet. Kalakan, sir.
Sir, please.
Archana,
Yes, sir.
do you hear about ghode Baba,
No, sir. Sorry.
Colonel James Stout?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me one book which was right of Colonel James Stout.
राजपूताने का इतिहास.
राजपूताना का इतिहास
Yes, sir.
या Annals and Antiquity of Rajasthan.
Sir, I studied in for RAS in Hindi medium, so I know
ठीक है,
about this
मैं
thing.
हिंदी मीडियम से आपसे बात कर लेता हूँ. कर्नल जेम्स स्टॉट जो थे घोड़े वाले बाबा के नाम से जाने गए थे,
जी.
वो किस पोस्ट पर थे? उनको पोस्ट क्या दी गई थी?
Sorry, sir. I don't know.
ओके, ये बताइए पॉलिटिकल एजेंट, व्हाट इज द पॉलिटिकल एजेंट? पॉलिटिकल एजेंट की पोस्ट क्या होती थी?
So political agent, he used to उनकी जो responsibility जो position थी वो महाराजा के साथ में बैठते थे, साथ में उनकी गद्दी लगती थी, और पॉलिटिकल जो भी अफेयर्स होते थे, जो भी ट्रीटीज होती थी, जो भी रिलेशंस होते थे, उनको पॉलिटिकल एजेंट ही लुक आफ्टर करता था, और एक तरीके से हम ये बोल सकते हैं वो जासूस होते थे इंग्लिश के.
ओके, स्पाई.
या
व्हाट इज द सेक्स रेशियो ऑफ अलवर?
सर सेक्स रेशियो, सर चाइल्ड सेक्स रेशियो और अडल्ट सेक्स रेशियो?
एडल्ट सेक्स रेशियो.
अडल्ट सर इट इज़ नियर अबाउट 895.
ओके, व्हाट इज फेयर? मेला क्या होता है?
सो मेला, इसमें सभी तरीके के लोग आते हैं. इट कैन बी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू अ डेटी. पहले के ज़माने में क्या होता था कि लोग ज़्यादा घूमते फिरते नहीं थे, तो एक मेला नाम की एक परंपरा चली कि किसी भगवान का मेला लगेगा, इसमें सारे लोग आएंगे. वहाँ पे ट्रेडिंग भी होती थी.
Okay.
ऊँट वगैरह बेचे जाते थे.
एक ऑक्टोनियो है, मूसी महारानी की छतरी जिसे
Yes.
कहते हैं. ये छतरी, व्हाट इज ऑक्टोनिया?
ऑक्टोनिया,
छतरी किसे कहते हैं ये बताइए.
सर बहुत सारे पिलर्स के ऊपर एक रूफ टाइप का कुछ
अच्छा
बना देते हैं।
इंस्क्रिप्शंस, व्हाट इज इंस्क्रिप्शन? अभिलेख क्या होते हैं?
अभिलेख सर उस टाइम के जिस भी काल के हमें अभिलेख मिलते हैं उस काल के राजा की इंफॉर्मेशन, वहाँ के राज्य की इकोनॉमिक पॉलिटिकल इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है।
अलवर में एक डांस किया जाता है जिसे हम बेसिकली कहते हैं बम। व्हाट इज बम?
सर ये मुख्यतः होली के टाइम पे खेला जाता है।
बम क्या है, मतलब बम एंड रसिया, व्हाट इज बम रसिया?
सर रसिया तो सॉन्ग होता है जो गाया जाता है, और बम सर डांस होता है।
बम डांस नहीं होता, म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट होता है। ठीक है
सर, इट्स अ मिस्टेक।
एक आपके यहाँ एक जगह है जिसे आप होप सर्कस के नाम से जानते हैं।
जी सर।
तो ये इसका ओरिजिनल नाम है या इसका कुछ और नाम भी आप पढ़ते हैं?
सर इसका ओरिजिनल नेम कैलाश बुर्ज है।
ओके।
और होप सर्कस इसलिए नाम दे दिया गया क्योंकि लॉर्ड लिनलिथगो जो थे उस टाइम के जो वाइसरॉय, उनकी बेटी का आना हुआ अलवर। तो
ओके, डिस्क्राइब योर वीकनेसेस।
So my weaknesses, they include, sometimes I speak very fluently and sometimes the speed, it goes ups and down.
Okay.
And second weakness is I'm a late waker.
Last question. What is the reason of Prajamandal movement?
In order to establish a democratic and more responsible kind of government, and they were not against monarchy. वो राजाओं के खिलाफ नहीं थे, वो प्रजा को ज़्यादा अधिकार दिलाना चाहते थे।
Sir.
अर्चना,
यस सर।
आप मुझे ये बताइए कि योर हॉबी इज़ वॉचिंग मूवीज़।
यस सर।
So what are these OTT platforms? They are in news these days.
So OTT, if we go by the definition, over the top platforms. Actually, their origin was to provide users with the content like movies and some kind of.
Can you give me
episodes.
some example of OTTs?
So Netflix, Amazon Prime, MX Player.
Okay, so like web series have become very popular.
Yes, sir.
But government is now trying to regulate.
Yes.
So what is your view? Is it right for the government to regulate or there should be self-regulation?
So there should be a mechanism for regulation because the kind of content of late these platforms are showing, they can be accessible by any person of any age. And in many of the web series, they are using slangs. As per IPC section 294, any kind of
what is the full form of IPC?
So Indian Penal Code.
And which year it came?
Sorry sir, I don't know that.
Okay. What is this Me Too movement?
Me Too. So it is a social media movement, and it was started from the Western countries, and it was against the molestation or any kind of assault on the females.
So like many people said that this Me Too movement is only for the high class women or the high society women. So what is your opinion? Like, does it have any resonance for women of Rajasthan? Maybe the women in villages?
Of course, sir, it does have a significance for the middle class and lower classes too. In a way, this movement has proved to be an inspiration, and many women, they have come out and they have spoken against the issues that they have faced in the past.
Okay. Archana, recently Article 32 has been in news. What is Article 32?
Sorry, sir, I don't have any.
How many writs are there in Indian Constitution?
So 5.
Which are they?
Habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, quo warranto.
Okay. So which of these do you think is the writ which will be used by the court to ask whether a person holding a public office is eligible to hold that office or not? Which writ would be issued?
So quo warranto.
Quo warranto, right. And since you are a student of geology,
yes, sir,
and this COVID-19 pandemic has spread, tell me this RT-PCR test. What is so unique about this test? Why it is able to predict that a person has COVID-19 so accurately?
Sir, in the RT-PCR, if we go into the process, it means we are synthesizing a DNA from the RNA, and it's not just one DNA. We are synthesizing many copies of that DNA, and when we analyze that DNA, if we find even a cent percent or some some of the molecule or anything related to the virus, then we can say that the person is COVID positive, even though he's
And what do we
asymptomatic.
do in the rapid antigen test?
So in rapid antigen test, we mainly check for the antibodies, if the body has synthesized antibodies. And the main confusion in this thing is antibodies can be synthesized in normal viral fever also.
Okay, there are two kinds of cells, T cells and B cells.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the difference between these cells?
So B cells, they are mainly related to humoral immunity. Means the immunity
Which will kill the germs actively and which will passively help in safeguarding the body.
so B cells will actively help because they'll synthesize the antibodies.
Or T cells, are you sure?
B cells, sir.
Which will kill the germs.
So B cell.
Sure?
B cell, and in T cell we can say T killer cells.
So the name says that they are the killer cells.
Yes, sir, we can
But
say.
still you would stick to your answer that B cells are the ones which are killing the germs?
Yes, sir. So I'd like to differ. B cells, they synthesize antibody. Antibody binds with the antigen, and later on the T cell, they are activated, and then they kill that particular microbe. There is
Okay.
an entire process.
Archana, why do you want to be a civil servant? You are coming from an army background.
Yes, sir.
You are already in a teaching profession, which is a very noble profession. So why do you want to be a civil servant?
So I agree that teaching is a very good profession, but the kind of difference that I can make.
Is it just power that you want?
No, sir.
You don't want power?
So power, with great power comes great responsibility, and I think I'm eligible for that responsibility. And in order to handle the administration, we do need power. It's not that for power the recruitment is being done.
Okay. Thank you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Archana. So, how was your experience of interview? How did you find it?
So it was good. I got to know that I'm lacking in a few things.
Okay. When is your actual interview?
So 6th of January.
6th of January. So, you have a lot of time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, you utilize it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Sometimes when we have a lot of time, we end up wasting it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, we found you to be a good candidate, but there are few suggestions that we would like to make.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your posture, voice, communication, everything is fine. In fact, voice comes little more loudly than expected. Okay. But if that is your normal way of speaking,
So that's my
then
tone.
so that's fine. But then you need to be very particular about your choice of words, because if that is the tone, then your choice of words should be such that it does not convey unintentionally what you don't want to convey. See, on the other side of the table, there will be people who are more experienced in terms of age and everything, right?
Yes.
So you want them to be on your side. You have to make an effort to keep them on your side by being polite. Okay.
Yes.
It is not that you are not being polite, but sometimes the combination of tone and maybe the wrong word may convey the impression that you are being little arrogant. Okay, which you are not, we understand, but you have to make that conscious effort.
Yes.
Okay. For example, like sir asked you something and you asked for clarification on also. If you are asking a counter question, it should not seem like a counter question. For
Yes.
example, you are not, sir asked you about sex ratio. You asked adult or child. That is for not for you to ask.
Okay.
You should say, sir, sorry, I am unable to comprehend if you are wanting me to tell the child sex ratio or the adult sex ratio.
Yes.
That is a better way of putting things. Okay? Rather than being very bluntly asking child or adult. Okay? You are not in a position to question the board member.
Yes, sir.
So that you need to take into account. That will only create more favorable impression
Yes.
of the board towards you, right? So please keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a suggestion, right? I asked you about farm laws and then we talked about MSP and you took a very strong stand that what the government is saying and what it is doing
Yes.
may be two different things. Now again, that is a loaded statement. Okay, you don't want to make such politically loaded statements or something. Okay?
Yes.
You can say that sir, there is a misperception among the farmers that maybe through these laws, ultimately MSP might be removed. That is why they are protesting. Because I said that government has categorically, and who from the government? The Prime Minister himself. He has said that there is no chance that we are removing MSP. There should be no doubt. But still the farmers are upset because of many reasons. Okay? There is farmer distress all over the country.
Yes.
And that is why they are protesting. So keep it balanced,
Yes.
right? Brush up your knowledge about the culture, art and culture of Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And there you switched language from English to Hindi.
So the thing is, during preparation, we
That is
were
fine.
taught only in Hindi.
That is fine, not a problem. But then there is a way to go about it.
Yes.
Okay. At the very outset, you could have said, I asked you about the language choice, English and Hindi. You said English.
English or I was asked. Not
English. Any which ways, like idea was like in which language you are comfortable and in which language you want to appear for this interview.
Yes.
You could have said that I am comfortable with both languages.
Okay.
And but if you ask my preference, then English is the choice that I have opted. But
Yes.
I'm equally comfortable in Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you get to any area where, if the member is asking you in English and you have opted for English, then try to answer in English. But if you use one or two sentences in Hindi also, it should not go against you. Okay, that is fine.
Yes.
Right? That is like we are in a like northern India, Rajasthan, Hindi is well spoken and understood, so it's not a problem.
Yes.
Then other thing being your geology subject. Okay, better answers are expected from that area.
Yes.
Especially when the board members are trying to give you a hint that maybe you are wrong. Even if you are very confident about your answer, you can always say, sir, I'll go and check. This is what I think, but I'll go and check. That is a better way rather than sticking to your point when you are wrong. Okay? Because that will again go against you, right? B cells and T cells, you go and verify. Okay? What is you yourself said they are the killer cells. Okay?
Yes.
So you can check those answers, and especially because last time there was also a plague in Rajasthan, as sir told and asked you. Okay? So these things are expected to be answered well by a student who is not just a student of geology but who is also teaching geology.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And especially because of COVID-19, like geology, zoonosis, all of these terms are in like general studies category, not particularly geology. Anybody can ask you. Okay? So be better prepared on that, right?
Yes.
And this connection of COVID-19 with animals and geology, right?
Yes.
Okay. And watching movies is your hobby, OTT platform. So sometimes your answers are not to the point. So you can make it very precise, like to the point. That try to understand and gauge the intent of the question. What is the intention of the person who is asking you the question? Okay. Same was true about Me Too movement, which answer was fine. But maybe there's a disconnect that I was wanting from you. That people in rural Rajasthan, especially women in rural Rajasthan, how they will benefit from a social media movement. Some trickle down effect will be there, definitely. But
Yes.
if you say that no, it will directly impact their lives, no. Okay. It was basically a social media driven movement. Okay. Obviously it will have some positive effect, but not a lot. Okay.
Yes.
But that is a stand you have to formulate. Okay. So this was our view. We found you to be very good candidate. Just try to remain polite during the interview.
Yes.
Your tone, the use of words, the way you interact with the board members, everything is important. They are watching those little things only. Okay? You have ample time. So practice it and try speaking to your elders at home. Okay? That will. So basically the board members are what? They are like your elders of your family with whom you need to be comfortable yet respectful. Okay? That is the idea.
Yes.
Okay? Anything you want to ask?
No, sir.
Okay, Archana, then we wish you all the very best for selection. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.